effective presentation. For those of you who are fearful of presenting, especially oral presentation, understand that great speakers aren't born, they are trained, so there's hope. We're going to talk about some definitions of a presentation and what we mean by effective. A presentation is something we set forth to an audience for the attention of the mind. Now, this may be oral, but it could be other forms of presentation. Effective means producing a desired result. An effective presentation means we communicate our ideas and information to a group, and we do that in such a way that it carries both the speaker's personality and allows immediate interaction with the audience. We're going to talk about the PACT model for success. PACT is a presentation skills model. P stands for purpose and planning. Why? A stands for audience. Who? C stands for content. What? And T stands for technique. How? So we'll go through each one of these. The purpose and planning and audience part of PACT comprise the design phase. And these elements provide you with the essential element for selecting and organizing and determining exactly what your content and your technique will be. Content and technique parts of PACT comprise the development phase of creating a presentation. And there's four main purposes in planning presentations. They include informing, inspiring our audience or motivating them, influencing them, having a persuasive purpose, or instructing or facilitating learning in our audience. Now let's talk about planning. Purpose and planning are tied together. To plan the presentation, you must have a clear purpose in mind. It's helpful in planning to put yourself in the audience place and ask yourself, what would I want to get out of this presentation? And identifying the specifics of the presentation situation. These specifics include time, location, how much space, what's the seating arrangement, what is the available equipment? Is it all going to be there, or do you need to bring some? What kind of resources are at your disposal, and what kind of budget, if any, do you have for planning? Moving on, we need to know about our audience. Who will we be presenting to? And this refers broadly to those people who receive your presentation. But this receiving could be through a live presentation with a live audience, or your audience could be readers of your written report. They could be viewers of your webcast or visitors to your website. Knowing your audience can make or break a presentation. How will we know them? First, demographics are helpful, understanding the age range, educational level, the group size, and their affiliation. Other things you need to know are why are they going to be here? What are their expectations and motivations? Are they going to bring to the table existing attitudes and beliefs? This becomes pertinent information. Beliefs, attitudes, bias, these all may become potential barriers. How will you overcome these barriers? Sometimes you need to rethink the purpose. Once you're solid on your purpose and your audience, next you need to carefully select your content. What is your main message? And keep in mind that you should have a main message and not too many takeaways for the audience. They can only take away so much information. Whatever your message, it must be supported by evidence. And we've talked about this earlier in the modules. If you're going to provide a fact, please give a reference. If you're going to provide statistics, you must have the source of the statistics. Your presentation content may also include clarifying elements that provide context for information and make it more understandable and meaningful. Here's an example. Imagine that you're an organization leader. You've gathered your employees together to announce an innovation designed to increase productivity. You show the innovation, you provide them some facts, but so far you really haven't connected with your audience. Now you provide them with information that gives them a context for how the information will impact them. the audience always wants to know what's in it for them. So you provide a scenario. This is the clarifying information. It could be oral, it could be a video clip, but it shows a day in their life at the workplace and hopefully how their work environment and procedures would improve. Now you've created relevance. They're all thinking, tell me more. Let's also talk about selecting content that enriches your presentation. What's the best way to provide your arguments and messages? Add some information elements that make a presentation more exciting and motivating for the audience. This is what we call enriching information. These could include graphics or charts, a change in your voice or the tone of it, memory devices such as mnemonics. PACT is a memory device standing for Purpose, Audience, Content, and Technique. And remember, leave plenty of space, whether it's on your slide or on your report. The less clutter, the more powerful will be the visual message. Now think about how you would organize your paper. You could do it in many different ways. You could do it topically, one topic after another. You could do it chronologically or historically. You could present the problem and then present the solution. You could use a cause-effect type of presentation method, or you could use lots of examples as well. Let's wrap up the C for content with content forms. Content can be presented as visual information, oral, video, audio, or a combination of all of these. And if you do the latter, how will you sequence what you use so that you can gain and sustain attention of your audience?